And we are back.
Yes, we are back because you guys have clearly shown that you guys like watching us suffer. I get it now. I understand.
This will be the time, guys. This will be the one.
I'm just kidding.
Here's my setup. Oh crap! It didn't pause. Okay, I didn't know it didn't pause. Well, I hope you got that setup idea.
Yeah, well, you guys can pause the video so you can actually look at it, whereas we're in real time.
Oh man.
It's
oh boy. It's what do you call it?
Come on, Chris, get good. Just do the thing. What are you doing?
It's quick slash, mark of pride, long nail. What is the long nail one?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's called long nail. I can't remember.
I don't remember. So when I beat this game, I think I said a lot the last time we played. I can't remember if we talked on the last podcast, but I got to the final boss and went, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I beat him a couple times and got to the absolute radiance part. And it's not that I couldn't beat radiance. I just got tired of actually trying to get to radiance. Like, you know what? I'm good. I've seen Chris beat it. I'm fine. It's like when your brother beats a video game that you're really close to beating. Like, well, I was going to beat Final Fantasy VII.
I wish I could say the same about how I feel about beating this. It's like, well, I know I can, so that's good enough.
I get that way about some things.
That won't be the case.
Not about art, but at certain points you go, you know what? I'm okay with being bad at this. I'll just leave it in a pile over there of unfulfilled dreams just sitting in the corner going, you know what? Nah, never mind. It's not worth it.
I've been doing a lot of practicing, guys. Not saying that it's going to change things.
No, that's going to make a difference, but he has been practicing. I've been napping. He's been practicing.
I probably practiced 12 hours in the last 2 days.
Yeah, unfortunately, what was it? Around like 5 o'clock, when most normal people would be up, I was sleeping. I found a text message 10 minutes later. Hey, I'm on the third boss.
Third to last boss. I got to Nightmare King Grim.
Yep. I walked in.
You want to hop in here, Sam, and help me out?
There's something about my new phone that if music is playing while I'm sleeping, the alarm doesn't go off. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. Either that or I'm sleeping through the alarm because I'm still getting over being sick.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's super hot and we don't have we can't run AC all the time. Mm-hmm. And then working with kindergartners. So I come home
it's hot, but not hot enough to run the AC.
No, it's not hot enough to run it, but it's also just one of those things that by the time I get home, I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
From chasing and talking to kids all day.
You still doing the kindergartners?
It's still kindergartners. I think this is the last week I'm going to be there because there's just some bureaucracy stuff. Typical school stuff where they're like, we still need help, but we're technically not supposed to still have help because of all this stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. Your kindergarten teacher's going to murder you, but...
Yeah.
If you change your mind and can make a loophole, I'm still willing to help with your kindergarten.
I'm willing to get paid for a job.
I'm willing to get paid, but I know there's going to be work everywhere in the district. I'm not really worried about it. It's more like, hey, once I say yes to you, I'm cool, I'm committed, I'll stay here for a while. But if you say no and it's still Friday, it's like, there's a bunch of other schools that call on me all the time, so I'm going to go do that.
It makes sense. Someone mentioned in the comments, they're like, why didn't you Cyclone Slash into Hornet and knock her out the first time? I just did, and it doesn't look like it actually does anything.
Maybe you have to have very specific timing?
No, it's Cyclone Slash. You get every single hit, and that's the maximum hit. Now, before, Nail Arts used to do a lot more, and that's when a lot of people beat the game before they were nerfed.
Oh.
That's when a lot of people beat God Home.
That's right.
Before they were nerfed.
It's actually funny.
And that was my play style. Yeah. But I didn't get it before the nerfs went through, so...
I actually just had a chance to, I watched a little bit before, but I watched all of Visual's GDC, Games Done Quick, not GDC, GDQ run where he played through Hollow Knight. Hour and 27 minutes? I didn't know that was possible.
Was that Visuals that did that?
Yeah.
Nice.
He was on a stream. I don't know if he still holds the record or whatever it is.
I believe he does, but there's different contingencies. If
you're watching Visuals, hey.
There's different contingencies for
I watched your run and I thought it was funny that they were trying to screw you up when they made you laugh halfway through.
I don't know
the final boss.
I don't know what kind of completion rate that was. If it was just the first final boss, or if it was what he needed to do considered. Because they do different speed runs, right?
There is different speed
runs.
There's
no glitch speed runs.
He said it at the beginning. I think it was a no glitch.
I don't recall what it was.
Video. But he played it on Japanese, and I didn't know that this was a trick. Apparently, You can press pause while you're falling and helps you fall faster.
What?
Yeah. It like drops you quicker because every time he was going down into the big pits, it would just drop you down quicker if you like click pause really quick. He wasn't doing it during boss fights, I don't think, because I wasn't watching the entire time because I was working on stuff.
It doesn't.
But it was. In
it doesn't feel like, because it's got like a slowdown, like pause.
It's only for big drops. So at the very beginning of the game, he did it. I think it's only on the Japanese one too, because I think because the Japanese text loads up faster, that's what causes you to drop quicker. I don't know.
Interesting. I didn't notice that.
It was impressive though. It was a no death run, I believe, too. He didn't die, and at a certain point you had to overcharm and went to the area down below. Where is it? Where you get the
deep nest?
Deep nest, but not deep nest. It's all the way. It's the lowest one.
The abyss area.
The abyss.
What is it called? Is it the abyss or is it the nest or something like that? Yeah. It's with all the other vessels.
If you asked me to draw it, I could do it, but I can't name it. But going down there where we had to overcharm with the King's Soul and have him take max damage.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you would take. He had like 5 health for the entire campaign.
Yeah.
And
because he's that good.
He is that good. He's better than we are. That's for sure.
Yep.
But it was fun. It was interesting to watch and listen to Visuals, who has commented before on our channel. So it was cool to watch him do his thing.
I like. What was I gonna say? He was having a problem not with Markoth, but because you fight a different Markoth in the game.
Right.
But he was having problems with No Eyes.
Yeah.
Because the RNG with the no health that he had really goofed him up.
Yeah, I mean, as a speedrunner, you want consistency, and anything that gives you a little bit of RNG becomes frustrating.
Yep.
Because you got to practice that stuff insane amounts of time.
Yeah, he's huge in the speedrunning community for Hollow Knight. I don't know what he currently holds for the record, if he does hold it still. But at one point,
it was like
he had like 5 or 6 of the different
3 seconds or something.
like 5 or 6 of the different categories for speedruns.
That's crazy. I'm sure that GDQ was a while back.
It was a year ago.
A year ago, so I'm sure someone's improved upon the time. Or
maybe it was like 10 months ago. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But regardless, it was still impressive to see because there was no real glitches that I saw him do. It was just. I did not think you could beat the game that fast.
I think it's not a glitch, but I think there's a way you can get into the lake over Salubra's place before you're supposed to by luring an enemy over there and then pogoing off their head. Now, if you use that or not, I don't know. I assume so because I actually learned about it from him.
I think so. I think that's probably what they did. I think it was still a no glitch run, but that's technically not a glitch. It's just using the game to be able to go through
you boundary breaking, or I don't know the correct terminology.
Boundary breaking would mean you'd be breaking through the game's walls, kind of like Super Mario 64 stuff, where those speedrunners where they actually break through. Which, did you see the terminal velocity video?
Which one?
There's a new one that came out. Speedrunner Mario.
Yeah.
Melee Fox.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's good.
I've seen the Speedrunner Mario one where he's like doing the back. He's like going up the stairs. He's like, whoa, and just keeps going through it. It's like, what the fuck is that? I looked it up and how the speedrunning technique works, and it's insane.
Oh yeah, speedruns for Mario 64 are so much fun to watch. There's something nostalgic just about that Mario voice, like just that specific one from the 64. Maybe it's because it's directly from our childhood, but whenever I hear it, it just brings me right back. And I always think of that being the quintessential Mario voice, even though I know it's still the same voice actor, Steve Martinelli, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think so.
So Mario 64 was awesome, dude. I'm not a speedrunner at all on any of that, and I don't even remember half the stuff in the game. It's been so long.
I don't think I ever beat Mario 64. I was pretty young when it went out, and I don't think I actually owned it. My uncle owned it, and I think later on my brother owned it as well. I think as far as I got was, probably
I beat it, but I remember being really hard.
Yeah, the mountain area with the monkey would steal your cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's as far as I ended up getting, and that was about it. I've beaten a lot of other Mario games. I really love Mario Sunshine. That's one of my favorites. I liked Mario Odyssey. What was it? For Super Mario Galaxy, I heard you could play as Luigi, so I was Hell yeah. So what I did is I ripped a save file off the internet so I could start as Luigi from the very beginning.
That's awesome.
Because I didn't want to play through the game once and beat it as Mario if I could just start as Luigi, which is you have to beat the game once through before you can unlock Luigi.
Yeah, that makes sense. Someone just I think it was Wolf, if I remember correctly, just requested us to play 2 of the newer Mario games. I think it was Mario something 3D or whatever, and then the other one, the Galaxy 2, I think it was. Okay.
We have no way of playing Galaxy 2, unfortunately.
I don't know if it was Galaxy 2 or not.
If they make a Switch remake, I'd be down for that. I have Odyssey, but I don't have any of this. I don't have any of the Galaxy games because I just borrowed them from my brother at the time. I played through 2 and I played through 1. I liked both of them. I didn't like 100% them, but I never do that with Mario games. There's just too much stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense though. I mean, like, there is so much stuff in the Mario games, all the collectibles and everything. It is a quintessential collectathon. Don't hit me, you stupid.
Charles Martinet.
Martinelli?
Why was this thinking of Steve Martinelli? Who's Steve Martinelli?
I don't know. Martinelli is an apple cider thing.
It is. Sorry, guys. Oops. Who is Steve Martinelli? Why did I think Martinelli? I'm also still really tired.
Yeah.
That's not an
Steve
excuse.
Martinelli?
I don't know. He's some random guy on Facebook. I don't know why I wanted to say Steve Martinelli.
There's a Steve Martinelli on Facebook, and that's it?
Yeah, see, he's on IBM Garage. I don't know who he is.
What the hell?
He's got an IDMB page or whatever. Some random dude. That's not what I was looking for at all.
Everybody go friend Steve Martinelli on Facebook.
Don't do that. Leave that poor man alone.
He's like, what is wrong with you people?
Who the hell are you people?
Chris sent us. What the fuck? Oh,
I cannot wait for summer to be over.
Yeah, so we can complain about the cold.
Well, the cold is something I feel you can fix. You can't fix heat. Heat is something you just have to suffer through. There's no way to deal with it.
There's AC, but it's a lot easier to just run all the electronics in this room and let up the room get heated up by that.
Yeah. I love winter. Get to wear flannel all the time. Get to wear hoodies. It's great.
Yeah, I'm getting real sloppy just trying to get through this.
Yeah, you're getting your feel for it.
Yeah. Again, I've been practicing for like 6 hours today, so I'm a little just
You're
like,
kind of
all right, I've done this before a million times. Like, let's just get through it.
And you just see Zoe just blinking at you back and forth.
I went to take a nap earlier, and I was practicing so much that my fingers were moving in my sleep, and it woke me up. I was like using my thumb and my pointer finger as like I was trying to dash. And I was like, what am I doing? Was I just playing games in my sleep? Like, what the hell was that? I was like doing like this with my fingers. So it's weird. It was the weirdest thing.
I didn't think I was a nap guy, but man, it sucks too because I take a nap because I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But it screws me up in a way because even sleeping for an hour, I'm like, cool. Now I'm gonna have trouble going to sleep at night, and I'm gonna be tired again in the morning.
I'm a nap guy in the summer. Definitely.
I'm at this point where I have to take a nap. I'm just too tired otherwise.
Yeah.
I can power through it, but then I go, why am I fighting this? Why am I trying to stay awake? I'll just take a nap. My body's telling me, take a nap, dummy. You didn't get enough sleep last night. And instead of actually fixing my sleep schedule, I'll just take a nap.
You ought to. I mean, that's how I do it.
If Italians do it, it's got to be amazing, right?
Well, everyone does it. You got like siestas, and you got I don't know what the Italian one is.
In Italy, I think you're like allowed to take a nap.
Is that right?
There's like work nap hours or something crazy like that.
That's awesome.
There's some country that does that, and their like work product activity is higher. It's like, yeah, man, if I was allowed to nap every day for about an hour during work, I would actually be way more productive. Sure, the grogginess of kind of waking up is a little hard, but once you force yourself up out of that nap syndrome, you're usually pretty good to go. You're like, I feel refreshed. I feel pretty good.
I would just stay asleep.
I tend to wake up. I tend to force myself. I try and only limit my naps to about an hour. I don't want to sleep till 9 o'clock and go, oh, I'm so boned. I'm screwed. This is going to be terrible.
He's pointing at something. What's up there?
My soul.
I'm sorry I ripped that out of your body.
Swish, swish.
Get out of here, Galleon. Just get out of here. Just get out of here, please.
Boss in terms of aesthetic.
Just get out, Galleon. Just get out of here. God.
The Grim Reaper of bugs.
That's pretty much him. One of the knights, whatever you call him. Come on. Oh yeah, that's right. You can't hit him anymore. I think you could have at one point in time to get a little bit of soul, but not anymore.
Shio's got a cool design too.
Yeah. I might be mistaken. Maybe you weren't able to get him then.
I'm pretty sure you could.
I thought you could. Yeah.
Pretty sure you could.
Woo! Oops.
This is probably a fun boss to animate.
It looks pretty fun. He's got a lot of like fluid motions.
Yeah.
Come on, bud.
This would definitely be like a type of project I would love to animate on. This type of stuff would be fun.
Woohoo!
Character designs are simple, they're not too complex, and the animations just look fun to do.
Mm-hmm. Did you say that you think they did them on 2s, or?
Oh, with these ones? It
Yeah, because they look so smooth.
It depends on the motion. Like, you flip between 1s and 2s depending on what you need to do.
Okay, like a fast motion that needs to...
Pretty much most animation is done on 2s, but if it's a fast animation, you're technically on 1s. 2s and 1s are...
Can you do halves?
2s and 1s are kind of what you shoot for. So 1s is something if you want a really smooth animation. 2s is if you're just doing a lot of animation. Typically, most television shows are shot on 2s, but there's moments of 1s.
Mm-hmm. When they change things up, yeah, that makes sense.
And change things up too. It's just... I don't know, it's different than it was back in the day. With computers, it's a lot different. I think you still aim for 2s, but because, especially when you're doing computer animation, it can fill in the 1s for you.
Yeah.
Like you can fill in and make it smoother. It's kind of been diluted, but it's not. It's hard to say. Because it is a thing. Most of the time, most animation runs about 12 frames per second, just because, you know, animation
24, and that's on 2s, right?
Yeah, on 2s, because you do 2 drawings. God, now my brain is just not working. 12 drawings per every second event. A second event.
Yeah, at 24 frames per second.
Yeah,
that equals 2s. Yeah.
Exactly. And then 1s is just
24.
Which most of the time you don't even do a full 24. If you want stuff that looks like that, you have to look at The Thief and the Cobbler. Or you have to look at certain things. But for the most part, when you're animating on 1s, you're not usually animating even the full second. It just kind of depends on what you're doing. Like, you kind of sparse them out. Some things when you're animating, you want a certain section of it to be really smooth.
Yeah.
And you want other parts of it to be, you don't need
You don't want the 1s, yeah, and it's a waste of resources.
When it's a really quick animation, you're mostly just doing key poses. Like, if you're doing like a 3-frame animation, like for instance, the Hollow Knight Slash, that's probably 2 or 3 frames, maybe. I mean, I'd have to break it down and look at it, like, slow it down. But if I had to guess, it's probably 3 frames, and it's mostly key poses. It's kind of like, if you're looking at hands on the clock, it'd be 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, probably 4 o'clock. You know, those would be those 3 different times in the frame that you would look at.
Yeah.
And technically, that's on 1s, but also, you know, kind of not at the same time. Like, you don't put it on 2s.
I get it. It's a variable.
Yeah,
depending on what you want for the motion.
It's depending on what you want for the motion, you can kind of change.
I get you. Don't hit me. Don't hit me with the spitties. Don't spit hit me. Whee!
Yeah, it just depends on, basically 2s and 1s are like, how quick do you want something to be in a segment? If you want it to be really smooth and a lot slower.
Yeah. Or you think you can get away with it with less, then you do the one with the less. Or you can give just even a certain feel with less too. Oh, don't hit me.
For sure. It's one of those really hard things to kind of describe, because when I personally animate, and from what I can tell from what other animators do, I can't speak for them, I don't really think in 2s and 1s. I mean, I do.
You just think about transferring motion and fluidity through.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
I think
but you know the technique to do it.
I know the technique to do it, and you aim for 2s, but there's certain times you go, okay, I need this transition smoother. I need the swing of the sword to be a little bit smoother. I'm gonna add 1 more frame in there because it doesn't feel right.
Okay.
And I believe that's how most other animators think too. You block it probably you block all your keyframe drawings first, which is probably...
When you say block, does that mean like the square that goes around it? So you have like the safe areas, or?
Nah, blocking literally for animation, at least how I treat the word. Now, other animators might treat it differently. Everyone has different approaches, but when I think of blocking for animation, it's a step above storyboarding. So you're blocking out all your key poses. You're figuring out, okay, so say Nightmare King Grimm, he's going to start on one screen and then he's going to do that spire thing. I would pose out like his big 3 key poses. The key poses are the most dynamic and most striking poses.
Yeah, it's like the pullback of a punch.
Yeah, exactly.
So like the wind up if you had one, and then the wind up, the hit. I guess it would be.
Punch, and then the in-between motion where like you're transferring. And then once you have that set up, that's when you start thinking of in 2s and 1s. Then you start thinking, okay, how quick is this punch? How much follow through do I want with this punch? If the punch is going to be super fast, well, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be on 1s, but it's going to be like the drawings are still going to be very separated because the eye's only going to catch so much anyways. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and it saves through financially. Having to pay someone.
Not so much on that. So when it's like really quick animation, that's why where 2s and 1s get kind of weird. Because when you're animating on 1s, yes, it is more costly, but sometimes you have to switch to 1s because if you want something to be very quick, you have to do it on 1s.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, if you want it to be on 1s, if you want something to be really slow and super fluid, you also have to do it on 1s. So 1s can kind of mean either
it can mean a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it can mean either going really slow or really fast. Whereas 2s is kind of your middle ground. It kind of gives you your average speed.
Yeah.
And that's the one where it's cost effective. That's where it's time saving because there's no reason to do 1s for an entire film. 1 should be very sparingly. Like you're either doing it for really fast motions,
like the
or you're doing it for really
United
slow.
States of Smash probably went to 1s after a certain amount.
Oh yes,
right? You know,
certain moments
like
are definitely
splashy, flashy, like real rough and just
exactly.
Yeah, seemed like every time. Like within a blink, you had like a million frames come up on you.
And anime sometimes get away, like sometimes things are on 3s. It depends on stylistically what you want to do. 3s are almost never used.
Yeah, but I get it though for like just like lip flapping and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that's
that
why
saves an animation and it gets the point across.
One cool thing that they did in Batman the Animated Series is they put lip flaps over a painted background, and back in the day that was super controversial.
Really?
And it was either Eric Radomski or Bruce Timm, one of the big creatives on that show, said, well, why can't we do this?
Oops.
Like, it's a still frame. Let's just do it. And they did it, but they got a lot of pushback from a lot of people for a while. Just within the studio, like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. I mean, you weren't supposed to be painting.
You're not supposed to be able to do that. That looks good, and it's saving a whole lot of money, and it's efficient.
And it's funny, too, because they had done it before. I think they did it back in Hanna-Barbera stuff as well. So that's where he got the idea. Hanna-Barbera was the captain of making
efficiency, right?
It's cheap animation, and also
with the whole background, like I was inside of them. Also, with the whole background scrolling and shit like that.
Background scrolling had always been a thing, but reusing backgrounds to an extreme degree. There's a reason why Scooby-Doo for like those first 12 episodes, which are actually really great. The first 12 episodes of Scooby-Doo are fantastic in terms of like just art direction. Like it's really cheap animation, but also the character designs are really cool. The monsters all look really fun.
I feel like it was really different at the time, but then again, I wasn't around when it just came out, so who knows, you know?
I love the aesthetic of the original Scooby-Doo, the first 12 episodes. I think that's great. Then I think there's this long period of Scooby-Doo just being kind of mediocre. And then there was a really good series. The movies they did, Zombie Island,
I remember that
Cyber
one,
Chase. Those ones were really great.
I saw the Zombie Island one, but I don't think I ever saw the. I didn't think I saw the Cyber Chase one. That's the one with like the weird
computer game
blue
and stuff.
Ghost thing.
It was really well animated. It was kind of fun because it did a nostalgia thing. Like they met their counterparts, like their past selves in a way in the computer. It was very Matrixy, like, these are the computer program versions of us when we were younger, and they look like the classic Scooby-Doo characters, just with alternate colors like in a fighting game. The movie's just fun. And then the Alien movie as well, like there was this brief period where they're making those direct-to-DVD films, just like, wow.
Like the WWE ones and everything.
But better, but actually good storytelling.
Okay.
So those 4 movies, I think they made the Witch movie as well, which was kind of fun too. It wasn't as good as the other ones, but the Zombie Island was really cool because the zombies were real.
Yeah.
And that was kind of their deal with that for those 4 movies was, the threats are actually real. It's not a guy in a mask. And then there was a really great cartoon. I think it's not What's New Scooby-Doo. That was bad. There was a Scooby-Doo one that came out probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Had a very dynamic art style. I think it was just called Scooby-Doo, but a very blocky style.
Is it like the new Scooby-Doo or whatever? Or?
It might have been. Scooby-Doo's had so many cartoons, and so many of them have been really mediocre.
Yeah.
I don't want to say bad because
they're just not the best out there.
They're not pushing the needle. They're not really doing anything that's crazy good. I think it might have been 2013 for this one. Let me see. 2013 Scooby-Doo.
Now, who
Mystery Incorporated. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated was really, really good.
Who made Scooby-Doo? That's not Hanna-Barbera.
That was Hanna-Barbera.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah, that was Hanna-Barbera. But Hanna-Barbera was bought out by Cartoon Network and Turner Broadcasting years ago. So, yeah. And if I remember right, it was Butch Lukic who worked on a bunch of the old Batman cartoons back from the 90s and whatnot. I think he was one of the lead creatives. And I had like Kurt Gaeta and Victor Cook. Victor Cook, if I remember right, worked on Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spectacular Spider-Man's amazing. Kurt Gaeta, who directed, I believe, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, which is one of my favorite movies
Batman
of all time.
Beyond you liked a lot. I remember you talking about that a lot when we were kids.
Batman Beyond.
It was cool. That was the one with the where they had like splicing and stuff like that, right?
Yes, it was that Neo Future thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't Kurt Gaeta. Who directed this one? God, I'm trying to remember. I'm looking it up. Yeah, it was Kurt Gaeta. I thought so.
Give Hornet back her skull.
It was animated by a fantastic Japanese animation studio for, I think it was TSA for the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. People ask, what's your favorite Batman film? That's it. That's the
cartoon
one. That's the one. It's so goddamn good. It's the best ending for the Joker that's ever been told.
Really?
Yes, it is fantastic.
Interesting.
I own 3 versions of that movie.
3 versions?
So
you can get like Blu-ray, DVD, and MP3 so you can audiobook it.
So when it came out, they made 2 animated versions because one was the original version and one was the uncut version. So there's 2 ways that, spoiler alert, you've been warned, but if you haven't seen Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, skip 30 seconds in after this. Anyways, so the Joker dies in that movie. And there's 2 ways that he dies.
Yeah.
So one is
2?
Yeah, because one is child friendly and the one is
okay. It's a different cut.
Yeah.
Like a director's cut and a children's cut.
The uncut version, I'll have to show you the scene, but it basically just ends with the Joker being shot, but it's in a really poignant character development way that is just so kind of bittersweet. And the other one is he gets electrocuted. So like he still dies in both of them, but one is kind of off camera and to the side where you don't see it.
It's kind of like that Disney villain death.
Yes, it's very much a Disney villain death. And it's still really cool.
Yeah.
But it's not as... The other one is just like, as a kid, I was like, that's storytelling. Holy shit.
That's cool.
That is fantastic. So yeah, that's always started. But when I used to go to, with my grandma, when I used to sleep over, there were 2 things as a kid that I'd always rent and watch. The game that I always rent, when it was still always available, was Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo. I rented that like crazy.
We do that.
And then I would rent Batman Beyond Return of the Joker any chance I got. Anytime I spent the night at my grandma's, we would go to the local video store, which is about a block
like, what
away.
are you going to get, little Sammy? And you're like, I want Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, the one where Joker gets electrocuted.
Yeah. She kept letting me get it too. My grandma was the best. But my brother also wanted it too because he was a Batman Beyond fan as well. So that was always my go-to movie. And then after a certain while, she just got it for us one time because Bradley was just selling a copy of it. And it was one of those cheap, dingy boxes or whatever. It was like, I still wanted it.
One of the ones that were all busted up.
Yeah, I wanted a copy of it. My grandma relented and she's like, all right, cool.
It is $2 though.
And then,
I don't know.
At the time, I didn't know there was an uncut version, but years later, maybe like it was probably high school or whatever. I was with my mom. I was at a Blockbuster Video, and I think it was closing down. It wasn't closing down, but it was kind of, where they have that section where they would sell DVDs. And this was one of those.
It's like, wait, you guys don't sell DVDs and movies and stuff. You're You rent them.
And I found this box, I think it was $13, and it was Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, but it was a black box with the box art like really kind of small on it. It said uncut edition in red font. And I was like, there's an uncut edition of this movie that I haven't seen?
You're like, don't let Gam know.
So I bought that one too, because it's like, Mom, I have to get this. She's like, I have to get this.
I have to do it.
I have to do it. I have to see it. And after seeing that version, I'm like, oh, that's the definitive version.
That's why they did it like that.
That's the one.
Okay, I was supposed to go down.
Eventually, it came out on Blu-ray where they have both versions of it.
Yeah.
So both versions on the Blu-ray, and if there's any movie I wanted to own, the only movie that has come as close to that in terms of being like my favorite animated movie, other than The Incredibles, for at least for superhero, has been Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
like,
that's incredible.
That's probably cracked my top 5. I really, really like that movie. Just from an animation standpoint, it's incredible.
It felt very unique in the way that they told the story too.
The story was really great. It made Miles an actually really in-depth. They fleshed out his character way more than they ever did in the comics. Like they brought him in the comics and he was kind of there, and no one disliked him, but his story didn't feel that great. And
was it Spider-Man-y or?
Well, no, he was still Spider-Man.
What the fuck hit me? What the fuck just hit me?
It was her head, I think. But Miles never felt
great. Here we go.
super fleshed out. He was fleshed out, but not as much as Peter Parker. And that's not his fault, but it really felt like they gave Miles more of a personality. Before, he was kind of just a kind of carbon copy of Peter.
Really?
He was like Peter, but he had a little bit of a different backstory. And everyone's like, yeah, he exists, and we all like him. He looks cool, and his spider suits kick-ass as hell.
Yeah,
Sarah
looks
Pichel.
dope.
Sarah Pichel or Sarah Pichelli, I think she's a French artist. She's the one who designed it, and it looks dope, and she drew him really well for those first few runs of Spider-Man back in the day, so that definitely helped.
Oops.
But he was also just kind of one of those characters, like, we kind of like him. It's cool because it's like younger Spider-Man, then you had your 30-year-old Spider-Man, and Spider-Verse just capitalized that and gave you kind of everything that you wanted.
And some that I didn't.
Yeah.
Really, some that I didn't.
I love Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham, Spider-Pig, whatever you want to call it, just didn't do it for me.
I love Spider.
It was goofy and fun for the kids, but like.
Oh, it's such a nostalgia trip for me because I knew that Spider-Ham existed. So as soon as I heard it, and I like John Mulaney a lot. I love his comedy specials. Yes, I know you hate Nick Kroll.
Yes, but I like John Mulaney too.
Yeah.
He just has bad taste in friends. It's okay.
That's okay, because I don't like Nick Kroll either. I see that guy's face and go,
he's fucking annoying.
Yeah, he's not. He works as kind of the jerk, douchey kind of character in one episode, and you're like, oh, cool. And then when he's in it for more, you go, oh, man. That's your only setting, isn't it? That's your only comedy setting, because that's all I ever see you play as.
It's kind of like, I know
you're probably more than that as a human being, but whenever you're on camera, you always seem to be that personality.
Yeah. I don't know who I always relate him to. I can't remember their name right now, but there's a couple that only play that like one character that is annoying like that. And it seems like no matter what they are, they're typecast into it. Now, I think Kroll kind of does that on his own.
Oh, yeah, kind of does on his own.
Yeah. We will see you guys tomorrow where we're going to attempt further down this Pantheon.
Yes.
I'll start tightening it up now that we're going to have to start getting a little bit more serious from here on out. We will see you tomorrow. Beep, bop, boop. I am going to open up this room, air it out, and get an ice pack for my neck because I am dripping sweat.
Yeah, I'm
sitting here.
pretty sweaty
it is ridiculous.
You're sweating more than I am, but I'm still pretty sweaty. I'm taking a shower after this.
Having these big fuzzy headphones on, both my ears, I'm just like, oh my god, nothing is ventilating.
Nothing is going. Let's do that.